Long story short, I followed a boy.
Also, long story short, I followed a boy.
We're just two little
Hello, and welcome to A Yarn Story. I'm Carmen.
And I'm Kayleigh.
And this is our knitting/wine/other things podcast.
We need to come up with like a snappier intro, I feel
Yeah,
like.
we really do. We're in season 3 and we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, no.
Anyone has one for us, I'm all ears.
A tagline.
A tagline, yeah. Wait, to summarize what it is we do.
Yeah.
We're back this week on, well, hopefully on YouTube.
Yes, hopefully, unless I have anything to do with it.
Yes, so if you have been watching us for a while, we usually do a video and an audio episode. But what happened, Kayleigh? Tell us what happened.
Well, so Carmen went away and left the responsibility to film with myself and Susan. But more myself than Susan. Susan was just a special guest. And we had a number of technical issues while filming.
It can take pictures.
Yeah, okay, that worked. Thank you. Thank you, child. That person was literally like 8 years old. But after 3 hours of attempts, I thought that we had recorded it all. And when I went to upload it on Sunday, I realized that half of the video didn't record, or I deleted it, one of the two. But it wasn't on the card, and it took me ages to figure out how that happened. So you got an audio only.
You got an audio only episode. It's a good episode. I listened to it in the car the other day.
Mm-hmm. There are lots of interesting things on it.
Yes.
It's worth a listen to. And I thought maybe we could spin it as like, a bonus episode for the podcast listeners on the audio version.
Yes.
Like they get something special so that we can like grow our audience there or something.
So that's totally what we're doing.
Yeah. Wasn't planned at all, but we can spin it.
But it is a good episode, and Susan reviews the Chiaogu Forte set for us, which I had been on the fence about ordering for the shop because of the issues they had in production line 1, and it isn't a low ticket item.
No, it's
and
not.
I don't like stocking things that we aren't 100% sure about. So
especially if we're going to ask a customer to pay high-end for high-end product.
Yes. So, but I listened to her review and I was like, all right, I need them too.
Yeah.
And we need to get them in the shop. So.
No, I thought that Susan wasn't going to be as excited about them.
She was quite effusive.
Yeah, she was great. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Chiaogu Fortes coming to A Yarn Story soon. They sound like the perfect hybrid, actually, for what we were talking about with summer yarns.
Yeah, definitely.
And needing like a wood or a bamboo for linens and silks and stuff. But you still get the pointy tip of the Chiaogu. So.
That's the thing with the bamboo. Sometimes after a while, they can really blunt out, can't they? Yeah.
So anyways, that's a little bit about last episode.
Yes.
We're back today with wine.
Yep.
That I knew Kayleigh was going to pick. I said, go down to the basement and pick the bottle. I mean,
I want you all to guess what I picked.
Is it your favorite grape?
It might be my favorite grape.
5 points to anyone who knows what that is before we announce it.
Yes. So, the moment you've all been waiting for. This week we are drinking Convivial, which is a Gamay Pinot Noir.
Dun, dun, dun.
From the Willamette Valley.
I did hear you say that on the last episode, and I was like, Kayleigh! I was in the car, and I was like, and you were like, wait, sorry. And I was like, fix that.
Willamette. The Willamette Valley.
Yes.
Which is our favorite.
It is our favorite.
So this is I'm super excited about it.
I'm excited too.
I didn't even know it was from Oregon until I looked it up online, and I was like,
I think I'm going to have to book a wine tasting when I'm there this summer.
yes, I think so. Well, I'm really jealous now that you're going to do that without me.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
And you can go visit my mom if you want to.
Yeah.
She actually doesn't live in the Willamette Valley anymore, so it'd have to be part of
you have to drive.
Yeah, it'd have to be like its own
little
day
thing.
But anyways, tell us. So this is from our sponsors, Wolf Wine.
Yep. I picked the bottle actually mainly because it looked summery, and
does
I'm
look
trying to
summery.
like bring summer into existence. It's struggling
Same.
here.
It really is. I almost put on like a dark plummy red lipstick, and I was like, it's too winter. But I
know.
thought it was gonna go well with my outfit.
Well, that was the thing actually. I was like having like loads of issues picking my outfit because I was like, oh, I want like summer vibes, but it's not that summery out right now. And then everything else, I was like, this is really autumn. This is really fall. Like, I like this outfit, but like it feels too autumn.
The weather here is not summering yet.
No. We're hoping this weekend though.
Are we?
Yeah, Sunday in particular.
Looking forward to that.
Yes.
I hope you're done painting by then.
But let me tell you about the wine. So it is, as I said, 75 Gamay Noir and a 25% Pinot Noir blend. And it says it's meant to be just that. Bright and dynamic, this wine is best enjoyed with a merry conversation and happy company.
That's like perfect for the podcast. It's like made for the podcast.
Exactly.
If you can hear Peaches on my mic, she has just come up and
To say hello to you all.
yeah, needed a little pet.
But so this is from the Vineyards website. So it says, we utilize carbonic maceration to really bring out the fruit.
Fancy.
After around 7 days of carbonic, we break up the fruit and allow the fermentation to proceed like the usual red wine fermentations. Open top with manual punch downs and pump overs, whatever that means.
Do we know what carbonic means?
No.
Okay. Go
This
Google
is very
guys, 'cause
technical.
We have no idea.
After a few days more of fermentation, we press the grapes off and let the wine finish fermenting in the tank before going over to older French oak barrels for 9 months before bottling.
Oh.
200 cases produced. So,
That's all.
small batch.
This is small batch. This is rare. We love rare. Smells nice. Smells really nice.
Yeah, it smells actually really similar to a blackberry wine that, I bet it's going to be a bit brambly then.
The one, well, there's
The one that I made.
loads of blackberries in
The one I
Oregon.
made. Yeah.
I was gonna- which was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was very good. I think Amanda has like the last bottle of that in existence.
It's fizzy.
Is it?
I guess that's what carbonic means.
Oh, it is a bit. That's weird.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, you
Are we
can
supposed to
see
serve this
actually.
cold, possibly.
Maybe. It's you can definitely actually see the carbonation
Yeah.
in it on the lip.
It's not bubbly like a champagne, but more like
But like this would be really good cold.
Did we mess this
I'm
up?
like, well, it doesn't say to serve cold. Like on the website or on here.
Interesting.
I'm tempted to like put it in the fridge while we film,
And then
and then like we can give you another taste.
I think we need to do that.
I think we need to.
actually.
Yeah. Okay, let me put it in the fridge.
Okay.
And I'll be back.
I'll be here for a moment because otherwise we've got more clips than we want to edit together. Peaches came over here to thank me because I was prepared today and I brought a filming TREAT, aka a tree. She
Ow.
hears me say that. I'm in trouble because I only brought one. But she finished that and she enjoyed it. So we have some exciting things to show you today. Some new yarn in the shop. A new product from Hide and Hammer is going to come up later. We've got some tips and tricks for knitting when you're in a group of people, because it's something we like to do. And we know you
sometimes it
like
can be
to do.
hard.
And sometimes we can mess it up a little bit. Yeah, so that's what's coming up later. But before we get to that, we're going to chill the wine. We're going to drink the warm wine in front of us. Cause
It's actually good
It's
warm.
good,
Yeah.
I just
But we're like,
wonder
yeah. So that's the thing. If you get a bottle and you're like, oh, do I drink it warm or cold? You could do the Carmen and Kayleigh method,
Yeah.
which is
have one glass warm, put it in the
then
fridge.
put it in the fridge. And by the time you want your second one, it'll be chilled enough.
Oh, we should have instructions.
The boys are probably going to be like,
You guys are idiots.
yeah.
We're not going to sponsor you anymore. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, we can ask them after.
We can. We will. We will get information for you.
Yes, we will. Put them in the show notes.
Yes, put them in the show. It's really interesting. It's light, but definitely Pinot Noir-y.
It's very like hedgerow fruits forward. So like you can definitely taste like blackberries and
Yeah. I mean, Oregon is full of blackberries.
Yeah.
Also, Marionberries is a fruit only.
I've never heard that.
Oh my god, Marionberries are amazing. They're like these giant blackberry raspberry sort of hybrid-y things.
Okay.
They're quite tart and they're amazing.
Yeah.
I will bring back like a Marionberry jam.
Ooh, yes, please.
Juice or something is just too hard, but like Marionberry jam is
that's
really
good.
nice.
That's good and packable.
Yeah, because I am going to Oregon later this
summer, right?
Summer, yeah. I guess it's technically
in August.
sort of summer, almost.
Yeah. Almost. Summer solstice we have to wait for, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
what are we talking about today?
well, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to?
I've basically only seen you for filming recently. I thought about that today, and I was like, that's not cool. I guess it makes for good content. This is authentic catch-up right here. What have you been doing?
I have been doing a lot of gym. So
You said gin.
I have been hitting the gin hard. I mean, I can't like live without you, Carmen. I just have to hit the bottle.
But gym.
Yeah, gym.
As in muscle building.
Muscle gym rather than some random guy named Jim. I haven't been hitting him.
Ooh, Sam is mad.
No, the gym. I am trying to, I feel like since I've moved to the house, I haven't had a good routine. And so I joined a gym at the beginning of April.
Okay.
And I really like it. It's a kind of class only gym, but they do a mix of like traditional classes and then they do group strength training.
Okay.
And so it's like doing all of the big lifts and like those kind of proper strength training kind of things.
Yeah.
And then, but if then I'm like on a recovery day, I can do like something relatively easy, like a circuit or a HIIT class or something like that. So keep my body moving, but then I have 2 classes a week where I'm doing proper strength training.
Nice.
So, and then I've started running again.
Awesome.
Yeah. And because I found a running route finally near me.
Are you training for anything?
No, well, my wedding to lose weight. No, I'm joking. I'm just trying to be fit and healthy, really. I was running a lot when I lived down here.
Yeah, but you had been training for like a 5K and a
yeah, exactly.
Thing. Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've done 10Ks, but I've gotten to the point with 10Ks where I'm like, if I want to just go run a 10K, I can just go and run a 10K. I don't need to pay £25 to do it. So
so easy to go run a 10K.
Yeah. So maybe I'll pay to like do a half marathon or something, and then it's like a little bit more of a challenge. Now that would be a challenge for me. I don't really like running long distances. Like 10K is really nice for me.
Pretty long distance, actually.
Yeah, no, it is.
In track and field,
a
10K is the longest distance that they compete at. So
yeah. No, I know. That's what, it's always funny when people ask about my dad and like, oh, what did he run? I'm like, oh, he was a long distance runner, and they're like, oh yeah, but what event? I'm like 5K, 10K, and then when I'm thinking about like going out for a 5K, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not long distance. I don't know why. I think it is though because of growing up with my dad. Is that for training?
Oh, he did
way longer.
Yeah,
he did like 2-hour runs and stuff. So
he was an Olympian, right?
Yeah, he was in '88 and '92 for Ireland.
Amazing. What was his 10K time? Do you remember?
His 10K time, I don't know for sure, but I think his 5K was 13:22.
That is fast, people. That is very fast.
22-ish. Yeah, something like that. It's on Wikipedia. My dad's on Wikipedia, so go and Google him.
Go and Google Kayleigh's dad.
John Doherty. So you can find his 10K time on there, which is really bad that I don't know it. But I think it is what is it then? It's probably like around 26 or something. 27,
Yeah, I mean, that's a impressive time. I used to be friends with lots of distance runners. They would have absolutely killed for that sort of a time.
And I think this is the thing, is that when I do a 10K, like my 10K PB is like 52 minutes.
That's still really good.
but I'm like,
That's
52
very
minutes
good,
is
people
so
who
slow.
don't know about running. That happens to be very good.
I'm like, it's so slow. And Sam's like, but like, why do you think that's slow? And I'm like, because like the fast time is 26 minutes. Like, that's what means you're good.
For an Olympian whose only job is to train as a runner.
Yeah.
Not like someone who's doing 1,200 other things and who just runs on the side.
Yeah.
So maybe like...
Set the bar a bit lower.
Just, expectation setting.
Yeah. I know. That's the thing. My dad never too. He never like pushed any of us to like, he was happy for us to do running and stuff like that. But he never pushed any of us to like be amazing. Yeah. Like, and so I'm sure he would be like, oh no, that is a good time to me. And I'd be like, shut up. No, it's not.
We're so hard on ourselves. Yeah. I theoretically started a running career again.
Oh yeah?
But I've been on 2 runs in 3 weeks.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's still something.
Couch to 5K app,
Oh,
by
good.
the way. So I am definitely not running an easy 10.
That's all right. I couldn't run a 10K for like ages, so it took me a long time.
Yeah. Peaches is standing in the window getting admired now. Well, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to stick to running completely, but I do find it a good thing to do if I'm traveling, because like you just pack up running shoes and like you can do that whether there's a gym in the hotel or this, that, and the other. Not that I did that while I was in Canada. I did pack my things, but I came down with like a sinus thing again.
Oh no. I mean, you catch so many things on the planes though too.
Yeah, well, I had a little bit of a cold going out, and then I was in and out of AC, which just really messes up my sinuses.
Yeah, so. I mean, shows too take a lot out of you. So and like the jet lag and everything, it's a lot in your immune system.
Yeah. Well, we're mostly good now. I got myself a neti pot.
A neti pot? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, so
tell me about it.
It's this funny little pot. I got a ceramic one because they're easier to clean and you have to be really careful. But
this isn't like...
It's like a teapot.
Okay. I was going to say, is this like a moon cup?
No. And you put salt water in it, and then you basically pour it up your nose.
Okay.
And then it like... The water goes all through your sinuses and out the other nostril. And it's supposed to help like keep your sinuses clear. Because I don't know what to do at this point. I'm not going to go a whole thing about my sinuses, but I now basically like drown myself before bed every night.
Perfect.
I haven't decided if it's working. I've only been using it a few days. I will report back.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see if Carmen makes it to episode 5 of the season. Or whatever episode we're on.
Because I'm drowning myself with salt water. Yeah. It basically feels like, if you like jump into the ocean or you catch a wave and it just like all the water.
It's horrible.
Yeah, you do it on purpose.
Yeah. I do not want to do that.
I will try anything at this point.
Yeah.
I basically haven't had completely clear sinuses since January.
Yeah. So. I feel like even before that, I feel like it's been a saga.
It definitely kicked off when we were at Rhinebeck. Yeah. But I was completely healthy in December. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Puerto Rico. Right. And it kicked off.
See, it's just traveling.
It's
the planes.
Come back. And AC.
Yeah.
Because that was very air conditioned.
Yeah.
Anywho, no one cares. Let's talk about something else.
Well, what have you been up to besides
my sinuses?
Yeah.
So I was in Canada, in Toronto for Knit City. We were exhibiting with Walcot Yarns and with the boys from Les Garçons. It was at a like Marriott hotel right on the water in Toronto.
Nice.
I've never been to Toronto either, so I didn't know much about it. I knew it was a big city, but I didn't realize how like it's high rises. All high rises. In the city.
It's like center. I feel like a classic skyline kind of.
It's right on Lake Ontario, I believe. So that was the first time I'd seen a Great Lake.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really surprising.
I've not really spent any time around that area.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So saw a Great Lake. Check.
Cool. You've never been to Chicago then?
I've only flown through the airport.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I would have thought there must have been, like H&H's in Chicago, isn't it?
The last couple, the America one, I've not made it to that one yet.
Okay.
So it was at the Marriott Hotel, which was quite the nice thing about a hotel event is that you can stay in the hotel, and then the venue is like in the convention hall, the meeting rooms. So everything's like there, and it's much easier than, you know, Rhinebeck we had an Airbnb in the middle of nowhere, so everything was like a drive and figuring out where you were going, so that just adds to the chaos of a show. So this is really nice. I was just like, walked across a little corridor, over the street, and then went up to my hotel room, went to sleep. It was great.
Makes it easier to, like, if you want to go out and like see the city and like go to some like bars or have a drink with your meal or whatever, and you don't have to worry about driving in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, Toronto was like crazy traffic. Really crazy. We did have some really good meals. We went to a brewery the first night I was there with the boys. That was really nice.
Oh yeah, what was this? Oh no, that was in Montreal.
That was in Montreal.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great to hang out with the boys. I also saw a ton of knitting friends there. So I have this group of knitting friends who I met through our friend Allison, because she's from, she lived in Toronto right before she moved to the UK. And we've been doing an online Stitch and Bitch for years, like pre-pandemic.
Oh yeah.
And I had met them all in person in 2019 at VKL. But I hadn't seen them all together since then.
Nice. So that must have been really nice to catch up.
Yeah, it was really amazing to see them. Because I was working the show, I didn't really get to see them as much as I would have liked. But I did manage one meal with them, and
good.
They all came and like supported me on the booth and bought some yarns.
Really
We're gonna see some like fluff sweaters and some origin sweaters from that crew, and that'll be cool.
Oh, awesome! Yay!
Saw Julie Aslin.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Met some great people. It was very well organized.
Good.
Very like chilled.
How long has it been going on now?
You know, I don't know, and they move it.
So they do. Okay,
because they basically do a few of them across Canada. So this year they're doing Toronto and Calgary. Okay. And then I think next year they're doing Montreal and Vancouver. Okay. Possibly.
Cool.
I know they're doing Montreal next year.
Yeah.
That's in May next year.
And really nice.
Yeah, so it was a really, really good event. Very well organized. Like very chilled as far as like the vibe at the show.
Oh, good.
It wasn't
like
manic.
Chaotic.
It wasn't chaotic. There was excitement, but
people weren't beating each other over
skeins.
There
was no like fighting over skeins or products, which I've definitely witnessed at events before. And yeah, so that was really nice. And it, you know, like Canadian customers are different.
Are they all nice?
They're all really nice.
Not that British customers
no,
are
but
not nice,
I think it's one of those things is you I think from like a marketing business perspective, like you're like, oh, it's all knitters, right?
Yeah.
So no. Knitters are different, customers are different, buying patterns, buying habits are different in different places. Definitely. And so I love being able to walk away and like feel like I've learned something as well.
Yeah. That's good.
So yeah, it was a great time. And then I drove back to Montreal with Max and Vincent and got to hang out there for a few days. It was like 30 degrees, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I very luckily had like thrown a pair of shorts
That's crazy.
in my bag right before I left. Yeah. It was so hot.
Especially for Canada at this time of year.
Well, apparently Montreal goes like winter, summer.
Oh, really?
It snowed 2 weeks ago, and now it's 30 degrees.
That's kind of how it was in New England, I guess, growing up. So,
so I got to see their shop.
Yay!
So nice.
I know, it looks like very sexy.
So nice. I did an Instagram live on our Instagram if you want to go see that. It's all like fresh and shiny and tidy and new.
Yeah, it looks like an absolutely curated showroom.
I remember the days of this shop being sort of that empty, quote unquote, where you still had space to
stage it
and merchandise it and stuff. But as you grow and you add more things, and your space is limited, so I was jealous of their space. North American space, man.
I know, right? So yeah, the Magpie shop is pretty big.
Yeah, I really want to go see that.
Yeah, I've only been once. I really want to go again.
That's in Fredericks?
Yeah, Frederick.
Frederick,
Maryland. So it's like, I always like to say it's like close to DC, like whatever. But then I remember like in American terms, it's close to DC, but it's like still like an hour outside, or maybe even an hour and a half outside of the city.
So it'd be like driving from London to Bath.
Yeah.
To go yarn shopping.
Yeah, exactly. Which people do. I
Yeah,
mean,
they do. I'm just saying, you know, it is that thing of like North American distance versus.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, oh, it's a day trip.
Well, I remember when we used to drive to LA for like dinner.
Yeah. Wow.
From Orange County, and that'd be like easily an hour and a half each direction with traffic, like if not longer.
Yeah, I mean, we used to go up to Annapolis for dinner from St. Mary's County because like they're like, especially, I mean, it's better now in St. Mary's County because there's more people who live there, but like before it was like, there was like barely any restaurants there, and so you would like, if you wanted to like go to a nice restaurant or like something a bit like highbrow or whatever, making St. Mary's County sound like the boonies or something. It is the boonies though. So that's the thing. It is like, and I love it.
It's like on the tip of something.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Like you go down there and then you hit the water and that's it, and you just keep driving and it's at the end. So so that's why. But yeah, we used to drive like, and Annapolis I think was about an hour and a half from St. Mary's. So
okay.
Yeah. Same with DC.
Yeah. The drive between Toronto and Montreal was just like one of those straight highway, nothing to see, like
Kansas kind of style.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's so nice. And Vincent's like, this is so boring.
I know.
Because he was doing all the driving.
Yeah, but when you're like used to like British country lanes and you're just like, what the hell? Why? This is why it's taking me 1,000,000 years to go 30 miles.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Oh, and we got maple syrup from Susan's brother.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Yes, so we made a little pit stop at a gas station.
Oh my God, that's
like 10 o'clock at night where he met us with
it's so random.
7 liters of maple syrup.
That is hilarious.
But because he has a farm, like
yeah.
This is what he does. He also has sheep, which we talked about very briefly.
Okay.
But I had forgotten. Well, so we had dinner at Max and Vincent's like the next night, and after dinner, Vincent like brings us all a shot of maple syrup, and I was like, "Is this what you Canadians do?" He's like, "No, I just thought we should try it," and I had forgotten how good real maple syrup is.
I know.
Like just the whole thing, like the viscosity of it. Sort of burnt.
Yeah.
Ambery flavor, like it has actual flavor. Like the crap you get in the supermarket here is not maple syrup. No. I don't care that it says
from Vermont.
From Vermont, from Canada, grade A, organic. That stuff
it's
is
just
crap.
Not, yeah,
it's not the real
the same.
Stuff.
I know.
So,
I mean, even a lot of it in the state, like when I was living in Arizona, it was the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not.
The further south you get, like the less actual maple syrupy it is. So if you get a chance to get some real Canadian maple syrup, like make room in your suitcase to bring it back.
It's so expensive here too, so like much better off getting it.
So I had a whole suitcase full of maple syrup. I didn't really buy any yarn, but I did buy maple syrup.
I know, I was going to ask, did you get any yarn? But I see where your priorities were.
Yes. Well, I mean, I have so many whips.
Yeah.
I did purchase a couple things as gifts that I can't talk about.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because the recipients have not received said gifts yet. And yeah, so no yarn for me.
Okay.
But I'll talk about food for one more minute.
Okay.
Because I had like one of the best meals of my life.
Oh, was this at the place that Vincent said I would like?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I think it's called Hogan and Beaufort.
Oh.
I might be getting that wrong. It's in Montreal. I had been there a couple years ago.
Okay.
And it was also amazing. But this time, it's one of those restaurants where they change the menu regularly. It's all about like seasonal, local, etc. They will cater to any of your dietary requirements, but not just be like, oh, we'll give you the
bowl of fruit.
Yeah, bowl of fruit as your dessert.
Yeah.
Because you can't eat dairy. No, we're going to like make you the dish with alternatives.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And they do it really beautifully. They clearly really care about what they're putting on the table. So we did the tasting menu with like a paired flight of wines.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
I want to go to this place.
The wine was...
When am I going to Montreal?
I don't know, Kayleigh, when are you going to Montreal? The wine was phenomenal. It was one of those things where like the wine was excellent on its own. The food was excellent on its own. And then the pairing made both of them better.
Yeah.
Like they just really knew what they were doing. So I can highly recommend this place. I will look up the actual name of it. And I actually have thought about calling them and being like, what wine did you serve me? Because I took pictures of the food, but like not the wine.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Because there was a champagne that was phenomenal, a Pinot Noir that was amazing, a Riesling from Germany that was great.
Oh, I wonder if you can get the Riesling then.
Yeah, I forget the fourth wine that we had, and then there was a dessert wine that was quite nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So, anyways,
love
that's
this.
my story of Canada.
I want to go.
I mean, you should.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll do it next year when I'm in the States.
Maybe. It's not that far from. Because
I'll be in
Amanda
DC,
from
but-
Prado de Lana came up.
Oh, did she?
for,
Oh, that's
Toronto, yeah.
awesome.
But it turns out like that was a much further drive than when the boys drove from Montreal down
Oh, really?
for Rhinebeck.
Why is that? Oh, it's because it's Toronto. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was confused.
Yeah. Which I hadn't really realized.
Yeah.
My geography of that region
Yeah, no,
isn't-
Montreal is, yeah.
Yeah. So, we
Yeah.
could definitely go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
All right.
Well, we'll see you soon then, Max and Vincent.
We've brought the wine out of the fridge.
We probably didn't leave it in for long enough, but come on, we're desperate.
Well, we need something to drink during the episode. So, yeah, it's just chilled.
So, did you do any knitting while you were?
Oh, that's better, like a little bit chilled. Yeah. I cast on my Bella blocking
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yes.
you were talking about it on the stories, I think, right?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and I
today,
know
I mean.
Susan mentioned it in the last episode. And yes, I did cast it on 4 times. I did not, however, have the luxury of having YouTube available to me because I was doing it on the plane and I had no Wi-Fi.
Oh.
So I watched a video of Judy's Magic Cast On before I
And then you were like, I gotta do it.
I hadn't done it in a while. And then I was like, okay, I can do this. And then I was like, I have to do it again right now. But basically the 4th time, like I was really happy with the stitches.
Oh, good.
And I got, because if you don't end it the right way, then you can't like lock it in.
Oh, okay,
And like,
really?
I think it was time 2. I didn't have it.
I've never done a Judy's Magic cast on.
Oh, okay.
I've always done a Turkish cast on instead.
Oh, I don't know
And
that
I
one.
don't know if it's the same thing because I've
Okay.
never done the Judy's
Okay.
one. But it sounds very similar is the thing. And so the Turkish one is the one that Andrea Maury uses in a lot of her sock patterns.
Okay.
I think she suggests Judy's Magic cast on though sometimes, but because I know the Turkish one and I know it gives a similar like
Yeah.
invisible like toe bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll just do that one because I know it.
Yeah, well, I've done it for a sock or two, but I'd never done it for
Right.
a sweater, and I was like, how is
It
this
was
working?
like
I don't know what's happening. I've
Crazy amount of stitches.
Well, yeah, it was a lot of stitches, and also you only start going one direction, and then you just like leave
Yeah.
your other stitches, and I'm like, how is this going to become shoulders and a neck? I don't know yet. I'll figure it out.
I'll find out.
I
Trust the
trust Ann
process.
Bensel.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. So I worked on that on the flight out, and then I worked on actually my my camisole number 4.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm just on like the broken ribbing, and that was easiest in company because I had to.
Yeah.
There was like lots going on the Bella blocking. So
Yeah. Cool.
yeah,
Nice.
I did some knitting.
Good, good.
Yes. And you?
So I have finished a whip.
Okay.
So I have an FO,
finished a whip. I don't
but
think I've shown that off yet.
I have been knitting my. So I finished the pressed flowers, which I talked about last time.
Yeah.
I'll show it here now, so that you can all see it rather than just hear
I
about
think
it.
you were wearing it.
I
last
was
episode,
wearing
weren't
it. But after finishing that, I wanted something like that was going to be a quick knit and also something I could use this new yarn with. Because if you buy it and you knit it right away, it's not stash.
It's true. Actually, that is how it works.
So this is the Glad, I think it's pronounced, but I'm probably butchering it and Welsh people can be mad at me. But by Garth Noir, it's their new yarn that they've fully kind of spun and done all the things to.
Yes, they produced fully in their own mill.
Yeah. And made of 100% British wool. I don't think this one has any Falkland wool in it. So this is Black House. So each of the different colorways will have a different like yarn combination, which gives it its color as well as like its complexity and stuff like that. And what I liked about this one was it's like a really dark brown mixed with a gray, and I like don't have anything like this.
It's very pretty.
And I wanted to use like a marled yarn
How many skeins are you using for this?
I'm trying to use 6.
Oh, okay. See, I only ordered 3 of this yarn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't I order sweater quantity?
Well, I think they still have some online.
I might have to get some more.
Yeah. So this is Black House, and it's 83% Hebridean, 8% Romney, and 8% Luen.
Oh, Clin.
Clin?
Yeah. Well, it's my best Welsh.
Okay. Okay. Because like Llewellyn is Llewellyn, but maybe that's the English, and that's a double L. So
yeah.
But Clen. Okay. And when Sally sent it, she had a map that indicated exactly where all the fibers were. It was so great. I
got that too. I was like,
love that.
That's such
yeah,
a cute
it's
little...
such a great thing to include in that. But yeah, so I've really loved using it. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful thing to wear. It's a worsted weight.
So what pattern are you doing?
I'm doing, this is Goldwind Folly by Thea Coleman. And it is like a cropped vest. And it's got this really nice shoulder detail and a nice kind of rib. Neck, crew neck. It's kind of a little bit lower than a crew, to be honest.
Okay.
But it should sit just off the shoulder. It's like just a
little cap sleeve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you said, actually, does it not have any cables in it? And I said, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have any cables, but actually it does. Because where you do, I really love this detail actually.
Yeah.
So where you do the move from the rib to the stockinette, you do a little cable.
Yeah, there's a little baby cable.
There's a little baby cable, and it creates this just really lovely detail where it then can like transfer into the stocking stitch almost like seamlessly. It's like it like parts the waves to go down. So I thought that was such a great, lovely little touch and detail.
For sure.
And it's been a really great pattern. So I'm at the part where I'm going to split for the armholes and the front.
That is going to be quite cropped.
Yeah. I mean, so it's going to be actually, it's because I measured my tessellated. And that goes, I mean, when I'm wearing high-waisted trousers, it hits where I want it to on the top of the trouser. And I think because I don't have huge boobs, it doesn't like pull up, you know. So I think it should be what I want it to be, but I didn't get gauge quite on it. So she uses Shelter, and that is 20 stitches over 4 inches or 10 centimeters. So 5 stitches to the inch.
Yeah.
And I swatched because I was like, that's what a good girl does. And
yes, it is.
And I blocked it, and I waited for it to dry.
Amazing.
And so then I got 18 stitches. So 4.5 to the inch. And I don't know why or what. I could have gone maybe up a needle size. So this is on a 4.5, so that's why I think. I think I usually get 20 on a worsted weight. I usually get 20 stitches to the inch on a 5 millimeter. So I think I could have gone up, but I actually really liked the fabric. So
that's what matters.
Yeah, so I decided to do a size 2 rather than a 3. And with 188 stitches around the bust at 4.5 stitches to the inch, I should get a 41-ish, which will be fine for me. Look at math. Math is your friend.
Math is totally your friend. We'll dive into sweater math.
Yeah.
And more detail at some point when we've prepared. Maybe a whiteboard or something.
Yeah. Oh man, Sam would love that. He'd watch that episode. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing currently, just as like a little bit of a palette cleanser.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to start my SAR vest, which I think the cal is technically over tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. I haven't cast mine on yet.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry, Alex.
Yeah. We're playing by our own rules.
We are.
But yeah, so I think once that, I'll be ready to go back to some color work. And But I also finished, I feel like I've had like really bad knitting mojo, so I've like been trying to get some whips done, which makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, that's a good way to sort of get through some stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like you're moving on.
Yeah.
I feel like I should show off, my camisole number 4, which does seem to just go on forever. It's Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, which is just beautiful to work on. It doesn't look like much because there's no... I think what I might actually do is put the straps on.
Like now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Before I finish the body.
Did you already make the straps?
No, because
you pick them up. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a camisole.
Oh, yeah, and then you can try it on.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. And I know it's going to grow quite a bit, so I feel like I'm going to need to do that. So it's a camisole, and you do an I-cord strap on it.
It's really pretty, though.
So there's live stitches on the front and the back.
Yeah, I like that stitch pattern.
It's
a broken rib.
Yeah, I mean, super simple.
Yeah.
And I have made progress. It's just kind of slow going.
Yeah.
Because my row gauge is quite short.
Yeah, but that's always your
your
deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Cool. So what did you finish then?
I finished, when we finished the same thing.
Yay!
Yet another shift. Hey!
Yay!
They could not be more Carmen and Kayleigh.
I know, right? So let's hold them up.
Okay.
Yep. That's so funny.
Your
that
gauge is quite a bit bigger than mine.
I know. What the hell happened there?
I don't know.
I don't know why it was so...
So mine
loose
is
on this
done in 3 skeins of Next Level.
And mine is done in like 19 skeins of every color.
And it's turned out beautifully.
No, so this is my like Frankenstein. This is what New was calling it.
I
My
like
Frankenstein cowl, which is all my little end bits from my spin cycle projects mixed in together.
Perfect way to use them.
Yeah, so that's why it like looks slightly. That's the thing though. Like this is a good example of how you have to trust the spin cycle and it can work. And like definitely I did manage it because it wasn't managed by Spin Cycle themselves, right?
Yes.
So it required some Kayleigh management. But I actually am so happy with like...
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's so very you.
Yeah. And Sam actually loves it and he wants it for himself, but I like don't want to give it to him. And so I was like, we can share it. And then he's like, no, I don't share.
Okay.
He's like, either it's mine or it's not. He's like, I need to know where I stand with it. He missed that day in school.
I also knit you a really nice sweater that you gifted to your
mom. Yeah.
So
he's got issues.
Have to wait now.
He's got issues, but we love him, you know. So I think the skeins I used in it were. So I think a lot of the red is Stay Out of the Forest.
Yeah.
And no, it's not Stay Out of the Forest. It's Rusted Rainbow, actually.
Okay.
So Rusted Rainbow, Salty Dog. I used bits of Rosy Maple. This purple, this bit basically all the way down is
Shades of Earth.
Shades of Earth. And then Every Rose is in there.
It's very pretty.
And Bright Idea.
Nice.
And this green, what is that? I think I used some Leaf in there, maybe? Is that Leaf, maybe?
Looks like...
Or no, I think that is Shades of Earth. Yeah, and then that's Bright Idea there. Anyway, so it's lots of... Yeah,
I have
exactly.
just used Next Level. This is the first time I really had to do color management as well, because while the skeins were really different, I ended up with a couple of spots where it was like the same coral and the same coral.
Yeah, yeah.
And there is a bit up here that's like very sort of
I really like
tone on tone, but I do think it works, especially from a distance.
Like I like it as a piece together.
Yeah.
Your one is actually it's really interesting because that one is much more similar to my gauge of my first one. And then I don't know what happened with this one. Maybe it was just like loosey goosey. Like let's relax, you know.
So yeah, we have more shifts to wear, which is great.
But I do like it actually. I like it this big.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I will definitely make another one at some point. I still want to do an Inclinations in Bad Egg and Next Level, but we have the Bad Egg that we got. Oh, no, wait, there's a skein there. Oh, I can't cast on the project.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one. Oh, that's a really good one.
Nope, we're not looking at it.
I like that with the that salmon one.
We're not looking at it. It's not there, Kayleigh. It's for other people, not for us.
I know. Well, that's what I said. You probably heard this on the podcast. Heard it.
Yeah.
Was with the raw wool. Mm-hmm. Like, that is such a me yarn. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can't take it away from the customers because I know I'm not going to knit it for like ages.
Yeah.
And like, it is so precious. I'm like, I can't possibly justify taking it away from you all and then like it just sitting in my house for like a year.
Yes.
Because
when
like
someone else
I can get it. Yeah. I can get it from Anton in a year.
Yeah. The raw wool is quite precious because we don't have a lot of it and we aren't able to like reorder it.
Yeah.
In the same way we can other yarns.
Yeah.
But it's lovely.
It is beautiful.
We should maybe talk about a couple of new things we have in the shop.
Yes, definitely. Oh, should I show my this though real quick? Sorry. Just really quick.
Yeah.
Since you all didn't get to see it because of my own mishap. So this is my pressed flowers cardigan, finally finished.
Yay!
Yay! I'll hold it up a bit closer so you can see the detail there. And my lovely buttons. I only did 5 buttons because that's all we had.
Yeah, but they work perfectly.
Yeah.
The blue on that is
and they're like
amazing.
the same size of the flowers, which we liked.
It looks very good.
So yeah, and also there was a huge difference between when I cast it off and when I blocked it.
Amazing.
And so actually I need to send, either I need to send stuff or I just need to make a reel myself to Max maybe to include that as a thing for you guys because there was something that we talked about a lot in the cowl, especially with the Isger. This is the Isger tweed, and it really does bloom. Like mine, I felt like my gauge was almost like you could see through it, but now it's a perfect fabric.
Yes.
And it's
really
nice and soft, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about this. I'm more sad that I can't just like wear it because it is pretty regulating. Like I can wear it if I have like the window open and there's a breeze coming through during the day, but I don't want to be like moving around with it. Like actually I was doing some yard work the other day with it on.
Okay, it's not summer yet, but it's like
240 pound sweater or something. Let's just like get some dirt all over it.
Things are meant to be worn, you know? Things are meant to be worn.
I don't even know if it was that expensive. Probably it was a lot of spin cycle.
I had to come in and do a little fitting thing for my dress with Amanda the other day, and so I had my like ball gown on in the shop, and then I was like, I'm not gonna wear this much, which is really sad because it's really pretty. Like maybe I should wear it to the shop. Like we should wear our clothes, right?
Yeah. I actually really admire people who do that. Like I really wish I was more like cared less about what people think when it comes to things like that.
For me, it's a whole lot more about comfort.
Yeah.
And like,
fair.
That fancy thing requires like a special undergarment or like shoes I don't want to walk around in.
Yeah. I just wish I could just like be a full goth some days.
I mean, you can.
I know, but I feel like it's not like my brand anymore.
Your brand can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I know.
Right, so we have some new yarn in the shop.
Yep. Which we love.
And we've put in this hide and hammer.
Because we only buy things that we love.
It's true. And this is a yarn that we have stocked for quite a while, but we haven't had a restock of it in quite a while.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have it back on the shelves.
Definitely.
It's from our friends at Magpie Fibers. There's a little pretty basket of it. So we have the Magpie Fibers Swanky sock and Swanky DK.
Oh, we got it in DK as well.
So
Oh, awesome.
Both.
I love this.
I know. So I put sort of the lighter shades in here, like newer ones. So that's new. Mm-hmm. What's that one
So
called?
this one is called C'est Chic.
Ooh.
Ooh.
They've got great color names.
Yeah. So this is that lovely kind of lavendery pink.
Yeah.
It's more pink than lavender, to be honest.
But it's on the blue side of pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then this is Into the Mystic.
Ooh, lovely.
Which is also sort of lavender. But this...
Such a good song by Van Morrison, too.
Well, she names pretty much...
Yeah.
Like, well, I think the original colorways were all song names.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say they're all Van Morrison. I was like, how did I not get that? He's like my favorite. artist.
But we have branched out to things like, so Spicy Beaver is available, people.
Yay.
We were wrong last time. Spicy Beaver, back in stock.
See, you can never get rid of the spicy beaver.
You really can't.
It's the best beaver.
It is the best beaver. Okay, back to Into the Mystic here. So this is one of those...
Very slightly variegated.
Yeah, it's more tonal, so it's kind of like, depending on the light catching, it's like a little bit pink, a little bit blue, a little bit lavender. Very cool color.
That's cool.
I love this sort of thing with tactical, which is like an
Oh, that is
green.
really good pairing. You're really good at those pairings.
Thanks. That's why I get paid the big bucks.
Yep.
Bell Bottom Blues, which is a lovely blue with Say Chic, I think would be great.
Those are actually, that color, do you think that's named after those bell bottoms that, what's her name?
Yes.
Was wearing?
I mean, could be. I think they've had this color for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But it looks like those bell bottoms.
Yes.
And those are amazing bell bottoms.
They were freaking amazing.
Yeah.
She's just got such great style.
Yeah.
We also have things like London Rain.
Yeah, London
which
Rain's
is a little bit
always
speckled.
popular.
That's like a gray with some blue speckles on it. I really like this. They've done some brighter stuff. Pass the Duchy?
Yeah, I think it's Duchy. Past the Duchy on the left-hand side.
There you go. A really nice green.
But it
Like
smelled
grass
like
green.
Duchy.
And you got Kayleigh singing a little bit.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's great. And this one's called Ice Ice.
Ice, ice, baby.
Dun, 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 dun. It's a light blue. So yes, this is a merino, cashmere, and nylon blend. It is soft, it's smooth, it's super
It's
drapey.
very luxurious.
Super luxurious. The sock, I love for a shawl. I love for actual socks.
Love
Alex
this.
has a really good pattern in it.
Oh, this is the Jupiter Rising. I love this one.
It's a very lovely dark green.
Yeah. This is
So-
actually one that Alex, I think, used in one of her, I think the
No.
sock pattern? Or no, we had it as kit.
We have it as a kit.
Yeah.
I think that color is. I need to read you the kits for that actually, because we've got different colors in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yay!
Get your hands on the Swanky while it's here.
Thanks, Magpies. The yarn's amazing as usual. Oops, sorry, I just totally hit my mic, and that's gonna have been annoying.
It's so
Yeah.
cute, though. I love
It is
this
really
yarn.
cute. All right, and then the other thing that we have in that will be available once this is aired, but as of filming, it's not quite available yet,
Yes, it isn't.
is from Hide and Hammer, and it is the new. Where did I put? Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
It is the new supersized 03 or 03 extra large. I don't really know what she's calling it, but it is the
03
classic.
XXL. Like Magic Mike XXL.
Which was sadly the worst Magic Mike.
Was it?
Yeah.
I never saw it, so.
It was the worst one.
My friend Matt, he was like, let's go see it together, and I was like, yes, I'm very. No, it wasn't Matt actually. It was Nona. Nona wanted to go see it.
Yeah.
But Matt, Nona, same person.
Same person. Sure, they'll both be thrilled to hear that.
They would. They vibe off each other.
Right.
But anyway, so we're gonna call it the Magic Mike bag.
The Magic Mike bag is now what we call this. So the classic 03 got bigger because New was always being asked for a bigger bag.
Really?
Yeah.
Like this bag already could, like, I can fit so much in it.
Yes. I can also fit so much in my 03. So for comparison, we have an 03 here, folded up one. So that is the size difference. The 03 is sort of like, I'd say 75% the size. It's probably 25% bigger. This is the size of my head. It's really big.
But like, honestly, it's deceptive because like they look smaller folded up, obviously.
They do.
Than
Both Kayleigh and I have the 08 with
like
us,
for
which
our-
is the smaller.
Yes, and like
smaller
these
one.
are. I use these. I mean, I use these sometimes for sweater projects. I typically use them more for vest projects, or socks, but I really like how compact these are, and like you get so much in here.
It loads in this,
Yeah.
loads in the 03, and then New is coming along, and then the Magic Mike XXL. This is this is one sort of folded up,
Yes.
which I just threw some yarn in. It's so big. This is less of a, like, see, I would see this as like less of a travel bag.
Yeah. I feel like this is like a carry-on.
Yeah, basically. It's so big. I mean, if you're doing a blanket project,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do this like at home,
Or if you
keep
really
everything
want to
organized,
keep, I guess if you want to keep like all of your yarn
yeah,
in a project, which I have done,
yes,
which is what I use my 03 and my the 04 is bigger, isn't it?
yes, the 04.
That's like the more like one I use for packing though.
Yeah, that's the one I use for packing. She doesn't do that one anymore.
Oh, does she not? Oh, okay.
So this is also the new heavy canvas.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels.
Yeah, it's very substantial.
Yeah.
So this can fold
It's
down into like a
beautiful canvas.
bucket.
Yeah.
So just because I just threw some yarn here, this is Brooklyn Teed Quarry, which is their super bulky yarn, and I have 8 skeins of yarn. I didn't smush them.
Yeah.
They're just like sitting in there.
And then you can fit the actual freaking project.
Then you can put like your notions pouch.
Does it have
pattern.
interior pockets?
It has interior pockets, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see
because
them.
of the dark color.
Yeah,
But-
but on this side, it's a full-sized interior pocket. You can't see that.
We could turn it inside out.
Oh, there's another skein of yarn. It's like a hidden skein of yarn. It's like a black hole of yarn. And then the other side has 4 small pockets and then like a half-size pocket, which you might be able to see the stitching of on the outer. So I've gone for the tan handles, which is my favorite. The Midnight
that,
with the tan handles. We have our AYS logo on them.
Oh, this is such a good color too.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it the same? I mean, maybe that's a question for you. Is it the same? I know it's heavier canvas, but is it the same blue? It's very similar.
Very similar. It is a different manufacturer.
Okay.
So it is not
Going to be exact, right?
the exact,
but it's
very,
very,
close.
very close.
Yeah.
It's such a like really beautiful color. It's very much that's a Kayleigh color right there.
Yeah, it's a Carmen color too. Like we agree on our blues.
We do. We know a good blue.
We do know a good blue. So these are available and they are amazing. And we were going to show off the other 2 new bags that we got in, but they sold out already.
Yeah.
We don't have any more.
I know. I was actually thinking about getting them, and then like they were gone.
They were gone.
I was like at work, and they were gone.
We've reordered them, so they will be available again, and we'll talk about them on an episode when we have them available. So,
Yay!
Should we do lessons in knitting then?
Yes.
All right. Lessons in knitting. How to knit when you're in a group and keep track of what you're doing.
Yes. How do we do that?
So,
well, multiple strategies I take, I think.
yes, I think the key is to be organized, one, and like take a project that does not require oodles of brain power.
Yeah. So, for instance, this isn't even a group setting, but after filming this, we'll probably go across the road to Wolf Wine.
Possibly, and ask them whether we should be drinking this cold or warm.
And I know in that setting, it's going to be in a bar. It's a Friday night, as you can tell from our lips.
If you don't know, Fridays is for wearing red lipstick.
Yep. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking before I left the house, okay, what project do I bring? And I was thinking, okay, well, I've got my Goldwind Folly, and like that's pretty straightforward, but I'm at the part where I'm going to be splitting for the sleeves.
Yep.
And I do think because of the simplicity of the rest of it, I could probably get by with it, but I know I'll have to be paying attention. And so like what's going to make that easier for me is one question, or the other question is, do I bring a different project?
Yeah.
So then I thought, oh, I'll bring my sock project. But then I was looking at that and I was like, okay, but now I'm going to split for the heel flap. So if you're in a situation like me, I think then you need to be like, okay, those are my 2 projects that I'm working on. Both are at this transition point where I might have to pay attention. So what am I going to use to like make sure I'm like good to go?
Yes.
Like that I can do this and drink wine and be in a pub and get it done properly and not have to frog it.
Yeah.
So this is first Carmen's method.
Well, yes. So I have an open thing of stitch markers. So if I was, especially actually, for something like this, which has a little bit of pattern to it. And if I get off, like it's a simple pattern, right?
Yeah,
Broken rib is pretty easy. It's a 2x2 on one round and knitting on the next. I can't tell you how many times though I have halfway through the row forgotten whether it was a knit round or a ribbing round. So I would actually put several more stitch markers around this, like maybe every 20 stitches. So right now I just have a beginning of round stitch marker.
And it kind of like then primes you to like look.
Yeah.
Like
to like,
are those 20 stitches?
It's a break.
Yeah.
So the more stitch markers, the better. I'm not doing a very good job of showing these. These are the Cocoa Knits, like colorful ones, which are really good. The colorful ones are great too because you can mark different things on your project. So if you need to like know if you're doing the front or the back, then you can like code them for yourself. Yeah.
So that's why I really like, so this is the one I like if anybody ever comes into the shop and we're talking about stitch markers and like what you get either as a gift or as like, I'm like just starting out or I've lost all my stitch markers. I would always recommend getting this one, which is the Flight of the stitch markers.
Yep.
And it has the standard size here, the small, the jumbo, the ring, or slip ring, and the triangle one. And in the Cocoa Knits method, they have like a code for how you use them. But
yeah, for the colors.
Yeah. And then all of these function in different ways. Like the different sizes are obviously about needle size, but then the slip ring one, I really like this if I'm ever doing decreases and I need like a V neck, for instance.
Yeah, or if I'm doing a sleeve.
Yep.
And I'm in company, like I mark every decrease.
And then I know I can count from that last decrease.
Yes.
So that's a really good way.
Hunting.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a really good one to have. This is like my favorite. Like I wish, well, because I think we sold out of these and just by themselves.
Did have them.
Yeah.
They do exist.
Yeah, they do. You can buy the slip ring by themselves, but I really want to get like 3 or 4 other ones so that I can have it like almost in every project bag.
Yeah.
But that's why this one's really good is because it's such a transportable.
They're just little bitey guys. They're super cute. And they just, they could just fit in your little pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know they're there.
They're so good. I just stick them into my my leather pouch, my hand hammer leather pouch.
Yeah.
And so that's one of our first things. The other one is to make sure you use a row counter if you're doing, for instance, short rows.
Yes.
Or you're doing decreases and every, like if you don't want to do that method, like some people like doing,
that was squeaky.
Yeah. So this Cocoa Knits row counter is really good. It's got a magnetic backing, so if you have a maker's board or any other type of magnetic device, I have an iPad and it actually does just stick right to the iPad.
Okay.
And that's really good, so I don't lose it. And yeah, so you can just kind of click through it, count it's like a normal kind of row counter. But it's really like ergonomic, I feel like.
It is.
Yeah.
Very satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
I think really the major lesson in knitting, though, in keeping track while you're knitting in a group, is to just bring a stockinette project.
Yeah.
That's your most foolproof.
Well, that or like don't be afraid to tell your company to like shut the fuck up.
I'm counting. I'm concentrating.
And I feel like whenever this is what's really great about like hanging out with other knitters and
they understand.
Like they understand as soon as you like go into this mode of like you're just like sitting there like this, like
No.
When it's like, okay, she's counting. Yeah. Like, I just asked her a question, but like I'm not gonna ask it again.
Yeah. She will be part of the conversation for a couple more minutes. We'll come back to her. Yeah.
And like I think the other thing is also rely on your community when you've messed up, and like don't be afraid to like admit when you've messed up. I feel like there's so many nights where I've been with like you, Anna, and Alex, or Susan, and I just remember this one night in your flat. It was when I was doing the Suzanne Summer. Side by side. And I don't know why I was having such a nightmare with these traveling stitches.
You
like,
really were though.
I don't know why. And I was like, I can't bear to pull this out again. I was like, I'm just going to fudge it. But it was a sample for the shop.
Yeah.
So Anna was just like, give it to me. I'll rip it out.
Yeah, but she pulled that out with such glee.
Yeah, she did. She was like, I don't know what was going on. She was like, yes, this is what I needed.
Got it back on the needles for you.
And it was like very much a community effort.
Yeah. So you definitely need your knitty friends for stuff like that. And also just like if you're doing sleeve decreases or something, or decreasing for a neck, and you're like, crap, I need to find my decrease. Like hand your knitting to like your buddy.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you've been looking at your knitting so long, you can't read it as well as someone who hasn't looked at it. So
yeah, I think also too, like, I feel like we just keep coming up with stuff, but having a way to like make sure that like if you're following a chart, for instance, have that chart in front of you, have either washi tape that you're marking that you're moving, if you like it printed out, or if you're using an iPad or like any other tablet. I know some people use Knit Companion.
I was just going to say the Knit Companion app is really good. The free version is pretty good. The paid for version is amazing.
Is it? Okay. I know a lot of people at my knit night, like our knit night in town, use that. I
use it.
I haven't used it because like on my, I use Google Books, and like some people have asked me like what it is that I'm using when I do that, and now with the Google Books, the edit function on PDFs is really good, where you can use basically a highlighter, and then I just strike through which thing, and then when I get to the end of that chart, I'd erase it. And then
the Knit Companion, I just have the free version because I like printed patterns. So I only use it for travel or like really simple patterns. But there's like a highlighter you can move up and down on your chart row. And there's like, I think 6 counters you can use. So I don't know, you finish a round, you can like hit that one and you can keep track of different things. It's very clever.
Yeah, so like have that out and like visible to you.
Yes.
I think that's really important.
Yeah. So that's our advice.
Our top tips.
Yep, top tips. All right. Now we have a Q&A.
So which questions did we get this week?
What's the best yarns for summer sweaters and vests?
Oh, well,
you have the basket already. We did prep this one.
Look at this one. I just happen to have this here.
Amazing.
How did that happen?
We're half organized.
So we've got a lot in this bag. So we've got our palette that just came in that we talked about last week.
Yep. This is Isager palette, 100%. No, it's 100%. Is it? I'm gonna lie. No, 100% cotton.
Yeah.
I do know what we.
I really want to do this. I want to do that Friday sweater by Petite Knit, the short sleeve one.
Yeah.
I just feel like I was getting ready to like come down here, and I was like, I just really wish I had like a cotton knit, and I don't have one.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want like a t-shirt knit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I think I'm gonna do something in this. This is a fingering weight, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it like looks much more substantial than a fingering.
It does.
Looks like a DK.
Amanda's done some swatching here, which I'll hold up just in the cream. So that's just a stockinette swatch. So you can kind of see the fabric it makes. I do not know. Has she made a little mark as to what needle size she's using? No, she hasn't.
She switched though halfway.
Yeah, she has switched. We'll have to ask her. And then here she did like a little bit of lace and a little bit of cable just to show off how
you
well
can tell Amanda's probably designing something.
Yes. Well, she just loves to swatch with things, right? So I think that's a nice thing about cotton. I need to try this one. So when I've knit with cottons in the past, I don't love that it doesn't give you the same give in the knitting process.
And so your tension might be like a bit annoying. Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't cotton, it was linen I was working with. It like made my finger sore. It hurt my finger.
Your poor little baby finger.
Poor little finger. I love the shawl that I made. Love how it turned out. Love the fabric. But like I didn't really enjoy the knitting process. But I would like to try this cotton.
Cool. Though the other one that we have in is, I thought this was something else. Then I touched it and I was like, ooh, this is soft. This is luxurious. Is the one that Carmen was talking about before, which is our pure silk and knitting for olive.
Yep.
So this is one that I interviewed with Carmen. So in my interview, she like gave me a prompt. She gave me some homework. And
would you like to give homework in an interview?
And she said, like, write a little like brief of, or like write some content of what we would put on a website to sell this yarn. I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was currently knitting in the pure silk. And what I loved about the pure silk was that it was a very soft fiber, but it had, because it's raw silk, it has actually a really nice structure to it.
It does.
That when you're combining it with like a really nice stitch pattern, you can like really see that, and it's like very much visible, like it holds its own, but it has a really lovely drape to it at the same time.
Really drapes well.
And I wrote her this brief, which was much better than anything I just said.
I'll have to find that.
Yeah, you should. And Carmen, I think I remember that when you said in the interview, you said, I really want to buy this yarn now.
Yeah, I mean, you sold it. And that was the point of it, right? Like, I want to read about a yarn that I then want to buy. Yeah. So, mission accomplished.
Yep. Maybe we should use that as our, like, what we put in our thing on the website now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could do.
This is what Kayleigh said about this yarn before.
You found your sample.
Yes, I finally found my sample because I was going to wear this today and I couldn't find it at home, so I knew it was in the shop somewhere. So this is that project. So this is the Olive Top by Pernell Lawson, who owns Knitting for Olive. And it is, you can see, so this was like one of her like classic olive designs. It's like more of a leaf kind of pattern, but I just absolutely fell in love with that. I love that. And had to make the tank, and she gives two options for the finish edge. You can do a scallop edge, or you can do just a straight one. And I knew I was gonna like end up tucking it in, so I was like, I'm not gonna do the scallop edge because it won't.
No, it's really cute, and I would like to be done with mine for August. If we're going to the States, because it's going to be hot.
Yeah, and it's a perfect thing to wear for summer.
Yeah.
It's so breathable and just airy, and
yeah.
All
right, I mean, what else is in the basket?
We also have another silk.
Another silk. Ooh.
This is my favorite.
I did put a Kayleigh color in the basket.
So this is Boudica's Revenge by, so this is Urban Pearl. Cloud 9, the colorway is Boudica's Revenge.
It is the autumnal oranges that Kayleigh loves.
And then we have Carmen color.
And then we have a Carmen color, which is pink soda.
And this is a silk merino blend, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
70% silk.
I know.
30% merino.
And I have this actually in a whip, which I think maybe actually I'll do that before going on to the Sarvest, because I'm like trying to bust out my whips. And then I can wear it this summer.
What is the project you have on the needles?
Oh, so it is the Ocean Breeze top. I think that's what it's called. By,
Park Knits?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's Park Williams is her name.
Yeah.
And
she came out with a cute new top the other day.
Yeah, she did.
I don't remember the name of it.
She comes out with so many cute tops. She has this like really cute garter rib, which I'm considering actually maybe, so it's like a garter rib like tank. I'm considering actually maybe using that for it as well, if not pulling it back, because then you can really see the variegation, I think, whereas the one I'm doing now is like quite a like lacy one.
Oh, okay.
So you don't get to see the variegation
I know
as
which
much.
one.
Yeah.
We did talk about that.
Yeah, we talked about it
like
earlier, yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Wisp tank cast on now,
yes.
which I would also like to finish.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
maybe I'll get that done for
I mean,
August as well.
I feel like that's the thing. Like the weather here has been like so crazy that
it's not been very motivating for this.
No, it hasn't.
But
and then last but not least, we have Luma. Oh, there you go.
Which is a DK weight wool, cotton, silk, linen blend DK. This is like great for the weather we experience here in the UK. So it's a lighter weight. It's probably 3 seasons. You know, you can wear the spring, summer, autumn.
This is like such a like. This would be like such a good like throw over sweater.
Yeah.
Like any of the, actually, she has a Weekender DK version. Yeah, like this would be, like I mean, I actually think that like, I think actually she has one that's in dapple, which is Brooklyn tweed.
Okay.
But I think for a while, if not still, but for a while you could only get dapple through Brooklyn tweed. But it's a very similar one to this. It actually doesn't have any silk in their dapple. Their dapple is like 100% cotton, I think.
It's a really nice yarn. This is like an underrated yarn.
Definitely.
As far as I'm concerned. It knits up really beautifully. It's got more muted tones in it because of the linen. So when you mix an animal and a plant fiber, the dyes get taken differently, and you usually end up with a more muted color because
and you can see
you can't dye protein fibers the same way you can plant fibers.
So you can kind of see that in the skein too. I feel like you can see like it's almost like a little bit like tweedy looking. And I think that's because it lends it to the different dye as well as like...
so the linen, the like white bits you see in that sangria
the gray.
the linen.
Yeah,
not
definitely.
taking the dye in the same way.
It's really cool yarn.
It is lovely yarn. So those are our summer recommendations for t-shirts and vests. All right, question numero dos. What would you recommend as a challenge for a knitter who can already do cables, lace, brioche, and various types of color work?
So when Carmen asked me this earlier, I immediately said, without even thinking, you need to do an Alex Bird pattern.
Yep.
And not just because she's our friend.
No.
She excels in this, which is, well, she excels in teaching in general, but her book in particular, like, brings her teaching knowledge, her illustration ability, and her just creative, amazing knitting designer skills all together, right?
Yes, and so that's all lovely about Alex. But the techniques that she has.
I was getting there.
Her book called Traditions Revisited, Modern Estonian Knits. We have like 3 copies of it. I believe they're all signed by Alex. Oh no, it's not, but we could get her to sign it. So this was published 2 years ago. It is Estonian techniques like the braids that we've used and stuff, rosimina, which is like the overlay technique. There's the fringe, which is in here. So that's
There's
all
some
stuff
baubles as well
that isn't used by a whole lot of people because it's quite specific to the Estonian region. And Alex is really focusing on that. So if you feel like
I want a new technique to learn,
this is the book, this is your designer. And Alex is releasing all the patterns from this individually right now.
So if you follow Alex already, you may have already seen that on her Instagram.
That is what Alex looks like right there.
That beauty.
Yes. Such a gorgeous photo.
It is. It is like such a glamour shot. I love that. They did such a brilliant job with the photography. I mean, Lina always do the beautiful.
It's such a stunning book. Like, if you don't own the book, you should. There aren't. It's not in print anymore, so whatever copies exist in shops. That's it. And it is translated into a few languages, so...
Yeah, so I think it's in Finnish, Estonian, German, English.
And there is an Asian language. I don't know if it's Japanese or Korean, though.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember it was an earlier one that she did. I remember talking to her about that. But yeah, it is such a... And there's loads of... I mean, so if you're a colorwork mastermind, you have to do the... Troy,
which is the cover.
Is a big one on my list.
When are you going to get to that?
I know. Well, the thing is that I want to do it in a specific Rosa Pomar yarn, and I'm kind of waiting
to see if I order it.
To see if you order it.
That's fair. I actually just got all the shade cards from Rosa Pomar.
Yeah. So because like you've been teasing.
Teasing the team.
But this is the Troy sweater. It's actually not the best photo. I'm going to get a better one.
The Sar vest is based on the Troy.
Exactly. That kind of same, because this is the island of Troy.
Yeah. And there's a sweater and a dress version.
Yeah. You can probably, there we go, if you focus. But it's just this absolutely beautiful.
It's all over colorwork. It has braids on the shoulder detail.
It will remind you of like really a kind stunning. Of like, I mean, so I think so she writes here that the Troy is a traditional men's sweater from the island of Kinu. Troys are all over colorwork sweaters brimming with embellishment, historically done in black or blue and white with knitted braids in red. And so she has actually the dress version is on that kind of color scheme. So you can see what that traditional. So it's very much like if you think of like a Guernsey or a Gansey or an Aran sweater from Ireland. It's like that kind of regional fisherman's sweater. These are hard wearing sweaters.
It's very thick. You use a hard wearing wool for it.
She knit it in Vovo by Rosa Pomar.
Yep.
As well,
which is on my list. you might be able to get that yarn here soon.
Yes, and tuku wool would be very good for it as well. I mean, actually, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful raw wool.
Yes,
would
raw
be
wool
in
could
this.
absolutely be used. You could do a natural tone.
Yeah.
Garthanor's Priscelli would be really nice, a bit softer.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because Priscelli too, so this is supposed to be sport weight, right? But because you get that kind of crunchiness, they can kind of like bloom and stretch.
Yeah.
Like that's why tuku, it's a tuku fingering, but a lot of people use it as a sport as well.
I mean, you could do an opus version.
You could do an opus. It would be a bit more drapey.
Yes, it wouldn't give you
that
same
structure,
look, but it would be very nice.
Actually, like a crop Troy.
Oh, that'd be cute.
That would be really
well,
cute.
I mean, again, the Sarvest is
basically,
it is based on a Troy sweater.
Yep.
It was using opus and spin cycle.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, if you want to learn some new techniques, then Alex Bird and her Estonian knitting is like the way to go.
Yeah, definitely.
I've learned loads. She is a great teacher. She's got tutorials for everything.
Yeah, she's got tutorials on YouTube and like on her website and stuff. But then like as I was, she has signed it.
Just on the page than I looked at.
But also her illustrations in here, like I just love when somebody can really communicate well. Either if it's like, but I also just like love when somebody can communicate visually, and like they can really communicate that through like something so beautiful as her illustrations in this, because she really shows you the techniques in it in like a way that if you were watching a YouTube video, you get a similar experience. So I can't praise this book enough. I like bought a copy for like every knitter I know. So
yeah, it's a great, like grab one while you can, quite frankly.
Definitely.
It's one you want to like come back to and knit from.
Yeah.
I've done the Kangas out of it, or the Kungus. She tells me to pronounce the Estonian words as I would German. So Kungus, I think, is more accurate. And a lot of it is like so much easier than it looks, and that's really fun. And you get to play with color in a different way. The T-Vod here.
Yeah, T-Vod.
That shawl
Anna
is
did
so
that.
stunning. Anna did that.
And Garthnor beacons. And that
no,
was
Priscelli.
Oh, was it in
Fingering weight,
Priscelli?
yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of the fringe. That's got the fringe technique in it.
I really want to do the Vesky.
See, I have a Vesky.
Yes, you do.
I kind of got donated a Vesky
Because it's so beautiful on you. I really want to do this one. Is it a Yatu or a Jatu?
I would say a Yatu.
A Yatu, yeah. That's, I typically think like when you're in Europe, a J becomes a Y.
Yeah, so this Ayatu has fringe down the center of the panel.
And Alex did this really cute cropped version with spin cycle down the front.
Yes.
And I just love how much it looks like a like Chanel
It
vest.
does.
That
It
was her
really
inspiration,
does.
I think, for it. Yeah.
She says quality of the knitted fringe sweater has the timeless Ayatu quality of a Chanel tweed jacket.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a cute little steeked cardigan as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought.
Anyways, so that's what we would recommend.
Yes.
And then the final question of the day is not knitting related.
Oh, I can't remember. You told me earlier, but that'll be a surprise.
Yeah. Oh, I have to look at it again. How did y'all settle in Bath?
Oh,
I think we've answered that in a previous episode, but we can answer it again.
Maybe we did, or we just alluded to certain things.
I'm from Eugene, Oregon originally, and I moved to Europe 17 years ago.
We're out of wine, so we're going to have to make this the short version.
So, long story short, I followed a boy.
Also, long story short, I followed a boy.
We're just two little sluts.
That makes us sluts.
No.
Just makes us
lovers.
Lovers.
Not with each other. You can clearly see that we're at the end of the bottle of wine.
Yeah.
We follow our hearts.
Yes.
Well, basically, Sam and I met in Sheffield, and we were coming to the end of our PhD. He got a job first, so we moved down to Bristol, Bath area, and I decided to come. Well, we were deciding between Bath and Bristol of where to go, And as I've talked about very openly in other episodes, I in the past have like very much suffered from like depression and anxiety. And I knew like, so one of my like big coping methods is like I need a community and I need to have like meaning outside of the work that I do and like ways to get out and like force myself on that. And knitting was something I took up a lot in the pandemic, and I knew I wanted to be in an area that I could find knitters. And I'd followed Carmen when I was living in Sheffield, and I stalked her until no, I basically was just like, no, this would be a really great place for me to like live and integrate, and I could see myself here.
I mean, I definitely think there's people on the internet I look at and I'm like, we should be
friends.
Like,
Yeah.
Like not everybody, but there's a few people where I'm like, yeah, if we met, like we'd be good friends.
So it's definitely like, I knew the shop had a knit night, so like in the very like minimal sense, I could just come to that. Like I'd have a place to go that wasn't just my house, and I could like get out and like meet people and not be isolated. And so a lot of the reasons that we picked Bath was because the shop was here.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I ended up in Bath specifically also because of my ex-partner, who I had been living in Ireland with, and his company moved him to the UK. And I didn't know the area at all, so I cast a very wide housing search net. Like literally, I mean, I must have looked at 50 places, but I looked at a couple places in Bath, fell in love with it here, and also thought it was very important for me because I had also spent a year living quite isolated in Ireland, picking up knitting again, that I would find some sort of community, some sort of inlet, because I hadn't been able to find a job at the time. And I found Bath, and that is how I ended up here. Didn't find the community quite immediately, so I made my own. So I opened the shop.
She made her own, and also one that other people could find then too.
Yes.
Yeah. She's like, I'm Billy No Mates. How do I get mates?
I mean, literally.
Let's make a shop and I'll invite mates.
I'm going to spend a whole lot of money opening up a shop so that people will be friends with me. It's really what it boils down to.
It's like very Cancer of you.
It really is.
Like hard shell, like, you know, business. Please, will you be my friend?
I'm actually doing this so that people will like me and be my friend.
No.
Actually, more Cancer of me is I'm doing this so that I can take care
of your
of a larger group and community of people. So
definitely.
That's how we both ended up in Bath. And now we're here.
Yep. And I think we'll be here for a while. You know, Sam and I just bought our first house.
You bought a house?
Yeah.
I own this shop.
You know. So we've got roots now.
Yes, we have roots. We still have knit night if you are in town.
Yep.
It's the first Tuesday of every month. Please come join us.
Yep. We always really love when like people
visitors.
When visitors are coming in, and it's a really nice evening.
It's good times. All right, I think that we're done with the wine.
Yes.
We didn't even cheers this episode.
Cheers
To Bath and knitting. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you in a couple weeks for the next episode.
Yeah. See you then.
Bye.